Good evening, one and all, and welcome to yet another episode of DinamoTV, the official podcast of St Albans Dinamo. It's my pleasure to be here with you tonight. My name's Tonchi Prusats, and we're into our 14th episode of our first season, and we have got a ripper show tonight, let me tell you this. Who are some of our guests? Well, if you've been following our social media platforms earlier today, you will have already heard about our guests. Well, we've got Ante Rozanic. He's one of our esteemed committee members, very, very hard working behind the scenes. Tonight, he'll be talking about the recent Dinamo Zagreb membership initiative, but also he's going to be giving a few pointers as to, well, I guess the benefits as well in this day and age of a global village of having dual citizenship. And for those of us who are of Croatian background, he goes through his own experiences and some of the processes involved in that. We're going to be speaking with Tom Pondeljak. He's I was going to say president. He may well be one day, but he's the current senior women's head coach. He was on last week, and we've got him on again this week, as well as the captain of our senior women's team, EMILY GRGIC, who is an absolute stalwart of the Dinamo the soccer club. And tomorrow night, all the action kicks off for the senior women as they do battle against Greenvale United at Churchill Reserve under lights. That's to kick off the Women's State League 2 season. We're also going to hear from the respective coaches of the senior men's and the under-23 men's, PAUL DONNELLY and also Adam Tenanini Tuna. Post-match chat with our Ian Burke, our very own Ian Burke. That should be good, worth waiting around for. And also our player of the week. Who could it be? The NPL men's player of the week. Who did you think performed best against Altona Magic last week? Well, pop it down in the comments section. We'd love to hear your thoughts, and we'd love to hear your thoughts about the club in general, how things are going in your opinion. And at the very, very end, we've also got something huge to announce about next week, the start of a new segment, and we'll also reveal who will be on next week as part of that segment. Folks, huge show coming up tonight. Without further ado, let's have a couple of messages from our main sponsor, I&D Group, and then it's time for the news desk.
The I&D Group is regarded as one of the largest deliverers of concrete structure solutions in Victoria. Formed in 1994 by Ivan and Kathy Filipovic, their passion and commitment to getting the job done safely and economically has underpinned their success in the industry. I&D partners with large-scale building and construction companies in both the private and public sectors on projects large and small. With our corporate headquarters based in South Melbourne and storage yard based in the southeast suburbs, we have at our disposal thousands of square metres of quality materials, along with state-of-the-art lifting and crane equipment, enabling us to deliver the largest projects. We are committed to delivering high-quality projects by partnering with our clients and collaborating with project suppliers to ensure each job is delivered to exceed expectations. From humble beginnings, I&D now employs more than 1,200 dedicated professional and support staff, involved in a number of landmark projects right across Victoria. The I&D Group is a massive supporter of the Croatian community, backed soccer clubs in Victoria, and is proud to be the major sponsor of the St Albans Dinamo Football Club in 2024.
Welcome back to DinamoTV, and it's time to turn our attention to the news desk. As we usually do, we cover what happened over the last week. With results-wise, we're going to have a very, very quick look at what happened last week. It was the game against Altona Magic. New coach at the helm, and Katie Lambeski is your commentator.
To St Albans Dinamo, who were defeated resoundingly by Heidelberg 6-0. That resulted in a coaching change with Ryan McGuffey taking his absence from the role. PAUL Donnelly this evening stepping up into the role Goran Lozanovsky, the man in charge, of course, for Altona Magic, and we are underway. Altona, Sebastian a tangle now with Shongo. Liberto looking to come through on the follow-up there, but nothing doing. Well read there by Haji. Links up with Liberto, 1-2 pass. Keeps his feet and he's pulled down, and he points to the spot. Big moment in this game. Ismail Haji forcing the challenge there. Looks like it'll be Anastovsky to take. A fair bit of afters with Marko Bulic, the Dinamo goalkeeper. All part of smoke and mirrors, all part of the fun and games, it must be said. Shout out to Emi Martinez, the Argentinian goalkeeper. But here it is. Anastovsky stands on top of this one. The stutter, the step, the goal! To the top right corner where the Spiders live, Darcy Anastovsky. What can Rico Bene do here on the corner? The out-swinging delivery to come in. Clears into some space there. The header's on point. The header's on target. Christian Rossi forced into a double save. Trolling on the overlap there. All hands on deck for an attacking charge. And of course, with the subs on the bench at the moment, we can't quite confirm how much minutes left in this game. As we enter stoppage time. Well run here through Monek. The cross is dangerous, it's teasing, it's low. Summerskill gets it, but he can't quite time ticking away. This may well be it. Michael Mamis looks to his watch. It's long, it's high. Anywhere is good for here the Magic to clear it away. Joash now looking for Josefidis. And that's all, folks. That's all.
Well, that's all, folks. And let's have a look at the ladder as a result of that loss. Unfortunately, it is not good news. We slip into the relegation zone for the first time this year. We drop down to 13th position. Altona Magic overtake us, as do the Manningham United Blues. But the team did play a lot better, that's for sure. There's no doubt about that. And this is what the interim coach, Paul Donnelly, had to say after the game when he spoke to our man, Ian Burke.
Here we are with senior coach Paul Donnelly. Donners, reflections on tonight's game, tough one to take.
Yeah, very tough one to take. It's been a tumultuous week, you could say, so it was just a case of, trying to get the boys back on board as quickly as possible. We worked on a few things this week, tried that there tonight, but obviously it just wasn't good enough on the night. I think we were a bit unlucky, but, it's a cruel game.
You certainly couldn't fault the performance. I think hit the post twice, only conceded a penalty as the goal, and created numerous chances second half.
Yeah. That was pleasing, that's really good because we worked on creating chances this week, so to see that. Now it's a conversion. Can we get hit at the back of the net? I think their keeper was probably best on ground. It's a tough one to take, is it?
It is. And so how do you get the boys up for next week? Because that's going to be a tough game away at Oakley.
Yeah, I think with Oakley, the boys got by themselves. So, we'll look after them early in the week. We'll have a decent session on Wednesday. And we'll just continue to work on what we're doing. That's all we could do. We've got a bit of a plan in place. And we'll make reference to that plan. And we're ticking them off. They're out the way. If not, we keep working on it. Yeah. That's the week.
Mate, unfortunate to start the way it did, but good luck for next week at Oakley.
Thanks, yeah.
And there we have the full details of the game this Friday night against Oakley. It's going to be a tough one, there's no doubt about that. Jack Edwards Reserve, always a difficult place to go at the best of times. But look, the Oakley Cannons, they suffered their first loss last weekend and last round. And so they will be wounded. Is that a dangerous thing or is that, a positive thing? Either way, this Friday, tomorrow night, The seniors kicking off at 8:15 p.m. and the under-23s kicking off at 6:15. Speaking of the under-23s, they didn't get the result they wanted, a 0 draw against Altona Magic. But look, they're doing definitely a lot better than the seniors at the moment. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Very, very, what's the word? Equitable there, I suppose. Symmetrical, that's the word I'm looking for. From their 9 games, 19 goals for, 14 goals against. So they are starting to hit the back of the net quite regularly. They've got 12 points. After the game, Ian Berg, who obviously is the assistant coach of the under-23s, he caught up with the under-23s head coach, Adam Tenanini, and this is what he had to say.
Here with 23s head coach Adam Tenanini. Tuna, not quite the result we were hoping for with the 23s today?
No, 0-0. I guess if you look across the league this week, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a younger squad in the 23s than what we had tonight. There's some opportunity there for some of the younger players in the squad and also a couple of the under-18s, which is great to blood them in. But look, it could have probably gone either way in the first half. The second half we sort of got on top a little bit and probably had the lion's share of the chances, but couldn't get it to go in the back of the net, and that's football sometimes. But we'll look forward and on to next week.
So a vast difference between the starting lineup on Monday that was star-studded with senior players to today, where we're sort of pulling people from the 18s.
Yeah, well, that's sort of the landscape of the 23s, isn't it? You sort of week to week, you don't know what's coming down or what's coming up from the 18s. But I was pleased with the efforts of the players that came on, especially. One of them, Jono, at short notice from the 18s, and he came on and did a job for us. I think the backbone, our defence today stood up to a bit of their pressure, and that was probably the most pleasing thing. Luka pulled off a brilliant save in the first half, our goalkeeper. But Benny Bilic, John, and who do we have on the right? Not DeBono. Who do we have on the right? Blendy, did a job as a back four, which sort of gave us, opportunity to sort of create what we did in the second half, knowing and the team having full confidence in our defence.
And I guess that's something we're going to need next week on Friday night when we go to Oakley, because we know that they're quite a high-scoring team.
Yeah, they are, and they're always a good team at this level on their synthetic, which obviously we're not used to. But we'll go there with. We don't know what the squad's going to be like, but we'll go there and give them a game and hopefully come away with something. But like I said, the most pleasing thing tonight was the young players coming through. I think we only had 2 players that are turning 20 or older this year. So that was really good.
Yep. All right, on to Friday night, and good luck for next week at Oakley.
Thanks, mate. Good luck to you too.
Well, apart from the Oakley game this Friday night, next Wednesday, in a couple of Wednesdays' time, I should say, the attention is going to turn to the Australia Cup. The game will be streamed, as we can see there on the far right-hand side. That's on Wednesday, the 1st of May. 8 p.m. when Dinamo take on East Bentley Soccer Club. East Bentley languishing in State 5, but anything is possible when that comes down to the cup, and we certainly don't want to be talking about a cup set, but that will certainly be in the minds of East Bentley players, coaches, and certainly their coaching staff and their supporters as well. But that's going to be Wednesday week, so lots of football coming up over the next fortnight, that's for sure, without a shadow of doubt. But as far as this weekend coming, and we already mentioned it, the senior women's team kick off their season in State League 2. They'll be coming up against Greenvale United this Friday night at Churchill Reserve. So if you're not heading over to Jack Edwards Reserve across town, and we know how awful Melbourne traffic can be on a Friday night, stay back in St Albans and come down to the ground, come down to Churchill Reserve and watch the ladies kick off at 8:30 p.m. It's going to be a fantastic game, a fantastic season opener. And if the pre-season form, particularly their cup run, is any indication, they'll be doing very well this year, and they certainly need all our support. Well, how are the women going to go? How are the senior women going to go this weekend? Well, we caught up with Coach Tom Pondeljak, club legend that he is, and another club legend, the captain, Emily Grgic, and this is what they had to say. Welcome back to DinamoTV, and it's now time to talk the senior women's team, and it all starts this weekend. More precisely, starts this Friday night when our senior women kick off their round one State League 2 State League 2 round one campaign. And it's going to be a big one under lights against Greenvale United. To tell us all about that, someone who's very, very familiar to DinamoTV, the head coach, Tom Pondeljak. He joins us, as does the captain, EMILY GRGIC, for the first time on DinamoTV. First of all, guys, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good, thanks, George.
Now, first of all, EMILY, it's great to have you on DinamoTV for the first time. You've been around with the team for quite a while, so you know the ins and outs, and you've been a part of many campaigns in the past. But there's a certain buzz, it seems, this year with the girls. A lot of good young talent coming up through the ranks. Great coach there to your right. What's the feeling in the dressing room with the senior women's team?
Yeah, like we've just played two games in the cup, did really well. So we're just excited to start. I think it's been a good pre-season. The girls are really gelling well, and yeah, of course, being a first home game under the lights here, it's exciting, and we're just keen to go.
Yeah, no, it should be really, really good. Can't wait for that. Tom, last week we spoke to you ahead of the. There was a little bit of a game on the weekend against Dandenong City as part of the Dandy Cup, the inaugural cup. Big crowd. Everything went really, really well, and in the end, it was a good result for our girls.
Yeah, look, definitely. We said we're just going to see how we're going to go through the cup campaign, and if we couldn't get past Crawdon, we said we just wanted to organise a bit of a friendly with somebody, and Dandy was first on the list, and they were more than willing to have a bit of a hit out, which is great. Obviously on the back of their Dandy Cup with their all-female competition, which is really good. But yeah, the girls, most of them were still a little bit sore and tired from the previous week, the game we played against Crawdon. But it was still a good hit out for them. Like I've always said to the girls, I'd rather be playing a game of football than having to rock up training on a Monday night. So they were good. Just got the cobwebs out, and I think it was just a really good lead up into the season come this Friday.
Yeah. EMILY, if we have a look at last season's campaign, there was a pretty good finish in the end, fourth behind some really, really tough teams. Now, in State 2 this year, we've got Avondale, Ballarat City and Fawkner. They've all moved up to State 1. Geelong Rangers, Lara United, and I can't remember who the other team is that have dropped the other way. But, you know, on paper, that means kind of the three toughest teams have left the competition. Does that put us in good stead, or, you know, are we still kind of not going to kind of call ourselves the title favourites for the year? That's putting a lot of pressure, isn't it?
A little bit. Look, you always hope that that's the case, but having said that, you know, obviously 3 teams come up, so there's more competition that definitely comes into the mix. We obviously want to finish as well as we can, and we're going to strive to be at the top. So yeah, very exciting, and see what they throw at us.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, absolutely. Now, EMILY, tell us a bit about your football as well, your football journey. Did it start off at Dinamo back in the day, right at this, and when did it start?
Yeah, I've been here for. I was actually talking to Tommy before, and I think it's clocked up to my 19th or 20th season with Dinamo. Haven't been anywhere else. Loyal club member. Dinamo's home to me. My parents met here. Obviously, my brother's in the senior team, and this is home. So couldn't even think to go anywhere else, to be honest. Yeah,
there you go. Fantastic. And what position do you prefer to play?
Centre back.
Centre back.
Yeah.
Who? I know it's hard to kind of always nominate, or name individual players, but are there any particular teammates there that you're expecting a lot from this year, expecting to really light up the Churchill Reserve pitch 1?
Big name, Jana Trollina. She is the heartbeat of our team. She's the playmaker. I'm expecting big things from her. She's just a killer player. But obviously, we've got some young girls in the mix as well. Yep. We've got Christina Trollina and Laura Musha have come back. It's exciting to have them back as well. And I'm sure they're going to do great. They're a great addition.
Awesome, fantastic, Tom. We've talked to you on numerous occasions now throughout the pre-season, but I guess it all comes down to the start of the season, which is tomorrow night, which is on Friday night. Mate, how are you looking at the preparations being good? Could they have been better? Are the girls ready for week one, or are we going to sort of see them slowly as the weeks progress, really move into top gear?
Yeah, look, I think we've had a really solid pre-season, to be fair. Said to the girls earlier tonight, just comparing them to where they were at the same time last year, I think we're in a better place. But like you said, Taunch, come the season proper, a lot of things can change. And obviously Greenvale, we played them last year. They were in our league, but you don't know with how teams go from year to year. They might recruit, they might lose players. So we're expecting a tough game, and got all the confidence in the girls. I think they're very confident at the moment, especially the way they played against Crawdon. I said to them, that's sort of the standard and the level that you guys have set now, and we just want to kick on from there. So, yeah, look, I'm expecting some really good things this year from the girls. I think they're in a better place. Like I said, they're obviously a lot of the younger girls. They're a year older now, and they've got a year of experience in senior football. So, I think we're in a better place. But we'll see how the season unfolds. Hopefully, I don't want to really peak too early, to be honest. But yeah, we'll just try and roll on and try and gradually build our momentum, and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah, absolutely. Have we had any new recruits join the team in the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, like Emily mentioned, Christina Joyner and Laura Mushada. We've also got Kelly. She's come across from one of the other State 3 teams, and a girl named Mariah. She's been out of the game for a little while, but she's come back in, and she's really got her fitness up, and she's really looking like a really good player for us in the back line. So, yeah, we've got 4 new girls in. Obviously, we lost, unfortunately, Diana and Steph, obviously through injury. So, it's always a bit hard to replace and replicate certain players, but we're doing our best. The girls that come in will bring a bit of a different dynamic, and hopefully, yeah, I mean, they've been gelling with the team really well so far in the pre-season, which is really good to see. And I think the girls are in a really good headspace at the moment, which is great.
Excellent. Well, let's have a look at those details. We'll bring that up on screen now. So the Women's State League 2, the Northwest, kicks off this weekend, round 1. St Albans Dynamo at home to Greenvale United. It's a Churchill Reserve, and kickoff is at 8:30 p.m. So all the action starts there on Friday night. Emily, Tommy, we wish you all the best. We wish the women's team all the best, and we certainly look forward to throughout the season checking in regularly on a regular basis. And Tommy, we'll probably be hearing from you quite often in the post-match press conferences, but hopefully it's going to be a good one this Friday night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Torchy.
Good on you guys. And that was Tommy Pondeljak, the head coach of the senior women's team, and our team captain, Emily Grgic. Almost 20 years. Incredible achievement. Folks, we're going to be back very, very shortly with the rest of DinamoTV after this very, very short break. Well, we're back now. A little bit of a technical glitch there, I suppose. Yes. Well, that was the women's team contingent of coach and captain telling us all about what awaits us this weekend. Very quickly, let's move along now to the junior boys NPL, and the final round of the pre-qualification phase was played last weekend. We hosted our sister club Melbourne Knights, and there are the results in the under-14s. We won 1-0. The under-15s, 3-1 win. Goal scorers there. In the 14s, Pete. In the 15s, Bozanko, Borg and Lagozzo. In the under-16s, it was a 1-3 loss. Magro scoring our only goal. And in the under-18s, a good result there against a team that qualified for Division 1 Apostolikas scored the only goal there for us. That means that's the final standings. The under-14s finished in 7th spot, the under-15s in 7th, the under-16s in 9th, and the under-18s in 7th. That means all 4 of the teams qualified in the end for Division 3 Northwest. Now, that will be starting in about a couple of weeks' time. In the meantime, the Junior NPL, expressions of interest. So we are seeking players now with the mid-season transfer window open, I guess. The registration period is coming up very, very shortly. And there you go. All the information is down the bottom. We will also be putting the website. We will shortly be popping that website up in our comments section as well. So do make sure if you are interested. There we go. The link has just been popped in our comments section. So if you are interested and you are not currently playing in the junior boys NPL team here at St Albans, or you do know of a few players that are unhappy at other clubs or looking for a new challenge, let them know. Now, finally, to finish off the news desk, a little bit of sad news during the week, or last week, in fact. We had 2 former players pass away, unfortunately. Very, very sad it was to have. To hear the news that Charlie Fitzpatrick, who I think played for 1 season, may have been in the 1990s, he passed away in Geelong after a long illness with motor neuron disease. And Jorda Eresh Puita, as his nickname suggests, he was born in 1963 and came out to play with St Albans Dynamo. Some of the old guard would probably remember when he was here. Might have been late 80s, early 90s, and he passed away last week in his hometown of Metkovic in Croatia. Likewise, after a long battle with illness. I'm not too sure, but I believe it may well have been cancer, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to now take a short break, and when we return, we will be after this break. We will be returning with, first of all, it's going to be the Meet the Team, and this week's Meet the Team is the boys under 8s, the under 8 Joeys, and they are coached by Mario Jurjevic. So they will be our Meet the Team coming up very, very shortly here on DinamoTV.
Okay, here we've got our under-7 white team. How are we, boys? How was training tonight?
Good!
Very good. Who's going to win the league this year?
Me!
Okay, let's start with you. What's your name, buddy?
Nicola.
Nicola. What position do you play, Nicola?
Striker.
Striker. Have you scored many goals already this year, or are you going to score them all in the season?
I will score more this season.
Very good. What about you, buddy? What's your name? Oscar. Do you know what position you play?
Striker.
Striker. Have you scored any goals already this year?
Yeah.
Soon. Very good. Well done. How about you, buddy?
I'm a striker.
You're a striker?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. You're going to score plenty of goals?
Yeah.
All right. How about you, champion?
I'm a striker.
Striker as well? Oh, very. Anyone playing defence?
Me.
All right, we've got one at the back. Number 6, what's your name, bud? Hey, Jake. And are you a sweeper or a stopper or a left back, right back? Left back, very good, mate. Are you a left footer? Oh, very good. That's good. How about you, champion? What's your name? Mateo. Oh, do you play up front or in defence? Oh, very good. What about you, mate?
Big ladder.
Defence, very good. All right, I'll just step back here. Now, did we play on the weekend?
Yeah!
How did we go? Did we win or lose? Ooh. But did you score some goals?
Yeah!
Did you celebrate? Who scored all the goals?
Fantastic, it's got all in. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
And now it's time to announce who last weekend's Player of the Week was, the Senior Men's NPL Player of the Week. And it's an absolute pleasure to welcome to DinamoTV for the first time and last week's winner, Ivan RAZUMIC. Ivo, good evening and welcome to DinamoTV. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself, Tonch?
Yeah, good, mate. Well, first of all, congratulations on winning the award last week. It was a tough week, wasn't it? Guff departed, Paul Donnelly took over. How was it adjusting to the new coach, new tactics, and also, I guess, everyone's on a bit of a downer trying to G yourself up as well?
Yeah, well, it's not easy losing a coach so early on in the season. I feel that the boys were adapting quite well, and it wasn't. We didn't get the result that we'd like, but we can see there's promising signs looking towards this week's match against Oakley.
Yeah. Now there seemed to be a lot of positives that did come out of this game, and we're just seeing some of the highlights there in the background. It came down to a penalty. Was it not? I mean, it is what it is. In the end, though, there were a lot of positives, and Paul was very courageous in some of his tactics. Were you expecting that? Did he say much pre-match or anything like that of what he wanted from you guys?
It was pretty much along the lines of just he wants us to give us to give 100%, make sure we give the best that we can, and put all the effort that we can onto the pitch and leave nothing out there. And I feel that all the boys that were playing, even the people that came off the bench, really gave it their all and tried everything they had. It's slightly different tactics, but it's similar basis of what we've been building on since pre-season and before Guff parted ways. But
Yeah. Now look, there's the penalty, so we'll put that away in the archives, and we'll focus now our attention. But before we focus our attention to this week, let's talk about your own performance. Obviously, did well enough to earn this week's Player of the Week award. Have you been happy with your own performance so far this season, or is it a case of it could always be better?
I'm that type of player that always feels that they can be better in anything that you can do. that game is really hard to pick a player that the outstanding player. I feel that we all done quite well, and yeah, the results are unlucky, but again, thank you for the recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's turn our attention to this week. Oakley Cannons, bit of a wounded Oakley Cannons. I think they suffered their first loss of the season, if I'm not mistaken, last week. Always a tough team. They're always going to be very, very difficult. How are you approaching this game?
Well, we approach it like every game, really. Just go out there, do what we can, do our best, and just take the fight to them. We can't really hold our foot off and give them too much respect. At the end of the day, every club in this league is beatable, no matter what, and we just got to go out there with the confidence that we can go do the job.
Yeah, and I guess the pressure's on them, isn't it? They lost their first game last week, and this week they're expected to win. You're going across town to it's always tough at Jack Edwards Reserve, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a tough game. Big pitch, great surface as well, and they're a great team. They've always been up there, but again, can't be scared of them.
Yeah.
Go out there and take the fight to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and they're not invincible, that's for sure. But for the first time this season, we've dropped down to the relegation zone. How badly has that hit the players? Like, I mean, of course, the players are feeling really bad, losing games and things like that. But dropping now into the relegation zone, has that kind of added a little bit more oomph into the motivation of the boys?
We do keep it in the back of our minds that we're in the relegation zone now. It's one of those things that you keep in mind, but you can't let it block your focus on what's ahead of you. Just got to do what you can do on the weekends, work hard through training, and hopefully we can pull together some results. A couple of points can make a massive difference, especially in this league.
Yeah. All right, let's lighten the mood a little bit and let's ask you a couple of personal questions. So we won't get too personal, but what's your favourite team, either local or international?
Oh, it's a bit of a controversial one. Most people wouldn't go for this one, but Arsenal. I've always been a Gunners fan.
Yeah.
Been a Gunners fan since
ever since you were a little kid.
Yeah, since a little kid.
Yeah. All right. What's your favourite food and drink? So, what's your favourite food and what's your favourite drink? Alcoholic, non-alcoholic, whatever.
Oh, really? Food. I wouldn't be too sure. I don't mind eating anything really. Got a pretty big appetite. I guess you come from Croatian background.
Yeah.
Last sarma though, that's my go-to. I can always go for a good sarma.
And isn't it better when it's warmed up a couple of days later?
Well, yeah, it's heaps better.
And finally, do you have any strange or interesting pre-match rituals?
Oh well, I've always been a double sock type of person, so I always put 2 socks on. And before I get out onto the pitch, I always do 3 skips, sign of the cross, and walk on. So there's 3 skips on the right foot.
Yep.
My first 3 steps, sign of the cross, and then off I go.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll be watching carefully the pre-match ritual this weekend, and hoping it pays dividends against Oakley Cannons. A tough game, but we wish you all the very best, and congratulations once again on taking out this week's Player of the Week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good on you, Ivan. Okay, that was Ivo RAZUMIC. Lovely to chat to him, and we'll be doing that each week now. We're getting to know him on a personal level and asking him a few personal questions, so to speak. Okay, that was our Player of the Week. We're going to take a very, very short commercial break, and we'll be back with DinamoTV.
Westar Prestige is a family-owned second-generation business which is celebrating 50 years of operations this year. They're a specialist prestige collision repair facility situated in the western suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria. However, they service all regions in the state, with many of their clients travelling from far and wide to use their services. They're also able to provide a digital platform for quoting clients' vehicles who are unable to personally attend their premises. They're an authorised manufacturer-approved repair facilities for Mercedes-Benz, Tesla, Peugeot and Suzuki, and are proud of their ongoing affiliation with these brands. They also work closely with a number of Australia's largest insurance brands who entrust them to be part of their preferred repairer network. Their support staff are always happy to assist clients from the initial process of lodging claims through to the final stages of collection of the vehicle on completion of repairs and post-repair. So remember, for all your prestige collision repair needs, consider Westar Prestige, an award-winning, long-standing Australian-owned business.
Welcome back to DinamoTV. A few weeks back, we had Ivan Novosel from the Zaprešić boys, the famous Zaprešić boys, and he was introducing a new initiative, if you like, that's I guess it started at Dinamo Zagreb, and it has been shared at St Albans Dinamo in an attempt to maybe bring the two Dinamos together, and symbolically, I guess, in a way, to as we say, bring the Domovina and the diaspora a little bit closer. And what better vehicle than football? And one of the initiatives that was raised was the dual membership of Dinamo Zagreb and Dinamo St Albans, or should I say, you could become a member of Dinamo Zagreb through Dinamo St Albans. Does that sound confusing? Maybe it does, but to clear it up a little bit more, one of the men who was one of the first members to do so, Ante Rozanic, member of the committee, always a smile on his face, and it's always a pleasure to have a chat with Ante. And Ante, welcome to DinamoTV for the first time. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure. Now, Ante, you were along with our Vice President John Bilosh and your daughter as well, the first three members of St Albans Dinamo to actually then become members of Dinamo Zagreb as well. So well done on that. Now, I hear you hail from the Zadar region from your mum's side. So there's that connection with Luka Modric as well, Livakovic as well, another famous Zadran who was a Dinamovac. So how does it feel, first of all, to be one of the first St Albans Dinamo members to become an official Dinamo Zagreb member?
No, it actually feels great. It wasn't hard to do. I thought it was a really good initiative by the club to bring that initiative through, and all the work was pretty much through Ivan and John Bilosh. When they approached me, I had no hesitation in filling out the form. It was pretty much just a one-page form that I really had to fill in.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we've spoken to John, but and Ivan Novosel as well. What's kind of the main reasons, the main thrusts of this initiative, and what are we hoping to achieve out of it?
I think what the club is really trying to do is bring the two clubs closer together. We're just trying to see if we can somehow gel and work with Dinamo Zagreb. I think, as everyone knows, they've probably got one of the best academies in Europe at the moment. So, I mean, if we can bring the two clubs together and somehow work and learn off what they're doing and try to bring it into Australia, would be fantastic, especially here at St Albans Dinamo.
Yeah, well, in the last few weeks we've had both Football Tech. We've had Football Tech as well that has been on our show. So we're here in Australia. We're getting closer with one of Australia's best academies, and then obviously this whole initiative with GNK, Građanski nogometni klub Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia, who, as you said, rightfully so, has one of the best youth academies, certainly in that part of Europe. So definitely the future is exciting. It's really great. John did mention something about if we can get 50 members, if we can get 50 from Australia, 50, it doesn't have to necessarily be from just St Albans Dinamo, but if we can get 50 members signing up to be members of Dinamo Zagreb, there may be a nice little carrot being dangled come the tourney time at the end of the year.
I think there is. I'm not quite sure what it is.
We'll announce it in due course, but if it happens. But that's the aim, isn't it? Like short term to get at least 50 members, yeah?
It would be great if we could get 50 members. I'm not quite sure where we're at, but we started the process. I think it was John, myself, and then I just decided to get my daughter involved in that as well. So I filled out the form and got her to become a member as well. And it wasn't that hard. And to be honest as well, it was my daughter's birthday last week, and they actually sent through a birthday card wishing her a happy birthday. So that was fantastic.
Yeah, what's your daughter's name?
My daughter's name's Gabriella. She just turned 3 years old.
Oh, Gabriella,
so
happy birthday, Gabriella, if you're watching this. Now, there is a bit of a catch, I guess, if you can say that. You do need to be a Croatian citizen, is that right?
That's right, yes. So I was fortunate enough, I went through the whole process a couple of years ago to get my citizenship and domovnica. So I think to be a member of Dinamo Zagreb, you need to have your OIB number as one of the requirements. So I already had that, so it was easy for me and straightforward.
Yeah. Now let's digress a little bit, Ante, because this is a really, really good chance to talk about that. And that is Croatian citizenship. We are a Croatian community club. We're heavily involved in the wider Croatian community. So in this day and age of a global world, a global village, if you like, having dual citizenship is often the case. And there are lots and lots of benefits of us here in Australia having Croatian citizenship. For you, what was the thing that really kind of drove you to getting Croatian citizenship?
Well, Tonchi, it was something that I've always actually wanted to do, but for some reason there were always some sticking points or doors that were closed and they were very hard. The process was very hard, and no one would be, I didn't get to meet anyone or come across anyone that would explain it to me very simply and go step by step. So yep. I kept on putting it off for years and years, and the opportunity sort of happened during COVID, where one of my mates from Queensland posted a very simple post on Facebook of how he achieved of getting the citizenship.
Yep.
So I thought I'd reach out to him, gave him a phone call, had a bit of a chat, and he guided me through the whole process step by step. And that's how I sort of went through it and got it in the end.
There you go. I mean, for a young player coming up through the ranks now, Dinamo, who's maybe one day hoping to play in Europe, having dual citizenship means also you've got citizenship of the European Union as well. So if you've got a little bit of talent and you're looking at playing abroad, having that citizenship would definitely be an advantage, wouldn't it?
It would just make it so much easier for these young players to get into Europe. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure how the process would be.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one thing that you've ticked off. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, on our sister podcast, the Oz Crows Soccer Show, one of the sponsors there is Pleme app, which has been produced by a Sydney Croatian fella called Nick Kraljevic. Pleme app, Pleme. And it is basically an app that step by step gives you a checklist of what you need to do, what you need to obtain to get Croatian citizenship. And I know my own brother's going through that process at the moment, and he's just finding, sometimes at the last minute, some rules and things get changed, and you end up going to the Department of Foreign Affairs only to be told you need a stamp before you can get a stamp. And only then, once you've got everything, can you go to the Croatian consulate and get everything done. So if you're prepared to be a bit patient or very patient, prepared to go through a lot of bureaucratic red tape, the rewards at the end are certainly worth it. But Ante, thank you for talking to us about both about Croatian citizenship, but also about the Dinamo Zagreb membership initiative. And I think we've mentioned that in the past. The best way to go about doing this is either approach yourself or John Bilosh, or send us an email or send us a private message via our Facebook page, and we'll get the gents to get in touch with you. And all it is there's a couple of forms that you guys will send out to them. Is that right?
That's right. I think the club's going to put out on our social media exactly the steps and the forms that you need to
We
fill
will.
in
Yep.
to become a Dinamo Zagreb member. It's pretty much straightforward. If you haven't got your OIB number, there is a separate form that you'll have to complete and submit before you do the Dinamo Zagreb membership. And once you get that OIB number, and then you just fill out. It's a one-pager form, so it's not really that difficult. Yeah.
It's funny. It seems to me from the Croatian end, it's actually not that bad. It's more from every other end, the Australian Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Department of Foreign Affairs or whatever the case may be. But Ante, thank you for joining us on the show tonight, and I'm sure we'll get you on in future episodes to talk about some of the exciting infrastructure projects that are in the pipeline, but we can't really announce at the moment until we get things concretely happening. But I've probably mentioned too much anyway.
Thank you very much for having me on, Donche. Thank you.
Good on you. Okay, Ante Rozanic, he's a member of the committee. He's working very, very hard behind the scenes, and he's also an official member of GNK Dinamo Zagreb. Well, some great guests on tonight, so thank you to all of those for agreeing to come on DinamoTV. Well, we're nearly at the end, but this weekend, of course, not just the senior women are kicking their season off, the juniors, the community juniors, as well as all of the mini roos, they will also be kicking their season off. So we wish all the Dinamo teams all the very, very best as they start their 2024 campaigns. We have, like I said, almost run out of time. We will, before we do go, next week we will start a new series, if you like. Won't be every week, but it will be every so often, and it's called Dinamo's Living Legends. Dinamo's Living Legends. And here's a short snippet of an interview that earlier today, actually, at the club rooms, we started filming, and now it's in the editing process. But here's a sneak peek of what you can expect in next week's episode.
I love the club more than anything, and
thank God you didn't say that you love the club more than you love your wife, or there could have been trouble.
Actually, I did. When we going back, when we take over St. Albans, the meetings were going up to 6 a.m. And she was not happy about it. And she said, Jozo, Dinamo me.
That's right, Jozo Jovic. He's going to be the first person in our Dinamo's Living Legends series that we kick off next week on next week's show. It's going to be an absolute fantastic show. Well, until then, there's lots and lots of football. Friday night at the club, the senior women's, at Jack Edwards Reserve, Crosstown, the senior men's. And then we've also got all the juniors in action on Sunday as well. So lots of football coming up. And then next Thursday, we'll be back for DinamoTV once again. And we look forward to having your company on. Until then, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And we really, really look forward to having you on next week. Bye-bye.